I've noticed in sort of recent years that most action films generally are being aimed at teenagers, kids or families. There aren't many big action films aimed at adult audiences like they used to be.
What are you supposed to be?
In those days there were movies like The Terminator, RoboCop, Cobra, The Exterminator, Death Wish, all those kind of things that used to appear on the shelves of the video shop. So I wanted to make a movie that reminded me of how I felt wishing I could see those movies back in the sort of early 80s.
One of the things that stands out about independent low-budget films is the camera work. And a lot of people go for a handheld, very gritty style. And I wanted to avoid that. I wanted to give the silencer a much bigger feel. And therefore I wanted to move the camera, keep it moving in nice, slow, smooth motions. I didn't want to have any locked off shots if I could help it. And I wanted to avoid handheld if I could help it.
When I read the script I thought, yes, I can do this. I'm normally cast like, I'm very good at being, the victim, and so I thought, yes, I can do this. And I quite like the idea of the fighting, and I was interested in how it was going to be done because I've never really been in an action film.
One film that always stands out for me, the fight sequences I think, particularly early on in the movie, are very good, and that's Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan. There's a sequence in that where he's training on a Wing Chun dummy, which I absolutely love, and I love the flow, the power that he puts into it. And then shortly afterwards he has a fight in a shop, which was kind of the way I wanted the silencer to look. It was a fine balance. Glenn was wanting to show off his kicks a lot of the time, which I can understand. So in the end, we did bring things up a bit. For the end fight, we did start to introduce more flashy movements.
The first fight I did with Glenn was lots of fun. It was down by the riverside. There was an interesting exchange involved jumping on a log and getting kicked in the face and falling down. Shooting that fight was interesting. It was very precise, so we went over things a lot of times to make sure the timing was just right, and by the end it did look really, really good. It looked fast, it looked violent.
As well as having my own role, I actually did some dubbing work, and so I got to don the biker helmet and biker gear. It was interesting for me having to match up to Glenn's movements as best I could. It was very hot, and with the biker helmet, your field of vision was terrible, really.
The people that were involved in the silencer, in the action sequences, they're all mostly experienced stunt people, and they were very good. I mean, they put it with some really horrible conditions, and they just threw themselves around like troopers. They're absolutely fantastic guys to work with.
By and large, most things went pretty well. And we probably wouldn't be alive here today talking about it if they hadn't.